Hey guys, Ryan Dossey, and in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how we made $12,000 wholesaling a house that we got from free county data. Let's dive right in. Before I dive into today's video, all I'm going to ask is that if you get value out of it at any point while you're watching it, just hit the like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Believe it or not, we put a ton of time, effort, and money into putting this content out for you guys. My goal is to be the resource that I was simply looking for when I was starting out. When I was starting out, there wasn't like where you got the data, how you analyzed it, how you worked the lead, how many mailing touches it took, what you made on it. You would just kind of see like somebody post a check pick and then tell you, oh, it came from this list and have to go figure it out. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the lead in my CRM, where we got the data from, where you can get the data from in your market, how we figured out who owned the particular property, as well as how we analyzed the deal to make 12,000 bucks. So let's dive into this thing. So I'm going to hop straight into Resimpli. Resimpli is the CRM that we use to work all of our leads. We've been on them now since like 2019, and I would not recommend anything else. So this particular deal, we wholesaled. This one actually came from a county list that I'm going to show you how to pull of code violations. So it could have been they didn't pull permits, the place needed to be boarded up, it was vacant, something of that nature. I'm going to show you how to find the data, as well as how to automatically figure out who owns those properties in a really, really easy way. So the interesting thing with this lead, it came in on September 14th. The staff at Call Porter took the initial call, screened for equity, motivation, condition, and booked it to an appointment for my acquisitions guys. All they had to do is show up and work the lead for the following day on the 15th. Made our offer on the 19th. That's one of those things we always look at of like, okay, guys, why did it take us 4 days to get an offer out on this thing? We got it under contract for $32,000 on September 30th, and we ended up assigning this property to an end buyer on November 3rd. Now, on this one, it actually closed on November 9th, so just a couple weeks back, and we made 12,000 bucks. I'm not upset about that at all. Back before I got into real estate investing, my last year as a W-2 employee, I only made 23 grand pre-tax. So this is literally 6 months of my life here looking at this one deal. Now, a couple of things just to note with this one that were interesting. So we actually mailed this seller multiple times. Resimpli has this nice like list stacking feature where you can see how often you mailed somebody, what lists they were on, all of that. So I mailed this guy back in May of 2021. We mailed them in July of 2021, and we mailed them in November of 2021. And then we also mailed them in February. So what is that? 4 times. A lot of people make the mistake of assuming you just mail somebody once and you're going to get the deal. In my experience with any of like these niche lists, like the one I'm going to show you how to pull here today, they take multiple touches to like get across the finish line. Now, this is actually a little bit more in depth than I typically just give away on YouTube. This is one of those things we've shared in CCF, but I figured, what the heck, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So we mailed this person multiple times. They were on a code violation list with county, and they had equity, which was why we decided to market to them. Because they were on that niche list is why they got marketed to multiple times. Now, I'm an open book, so that's why I'm showing you like when I mailed them. It wasn't 6 months in a row. Like you, I'm kind of lazy and I hop around a little bit in my marketing. So this could have gotten across the finish line sooner if we'd mailed them more consistently, but you know, hey, a win is a win, right? So on this particular place, it was actually pretty rough. There was actually a joke by my team of, this is a great house with a lot of potential, just really, really, really rough, needed like literally everything. I think this is the kind of property that often comes to mind when we think about wholesaling houses, just like the bottom of the barrel, rougher part of town, needs everything. Most of my deals actually look nicer than this one. So you can see like pretty much, down to the studs, down to the foundation, needs just about everything. Some investors actually prefer this kind of a project because like there's no surprises. There's nothing hidden in the walls because there are no walls, right? So you can see our internal notes here of how we analyzed this deal. So we figured it was going to be worth $150,000. We used the 75% rule, still do in our market. So that took us down to $113,000. We assumed a $75,000 remodel, effectively everything on a house this size. meaning the most we'd want to pay for this thing was $30,000. Now, like I mentioned, I'm an open book. So MAO for us stands for max allowable offer, but we paid 32. So we did exceed our max by $2,000. I'll own that. The guys shouldn't have done it. They did. And we made $12,000. So, you know, on this one, the thought was that we'd be able to sell it for 38. We ended up going under contract for 32, and we did a $12,000 assignment fee. So we actually sold it for 44. So while we overpaid a little bit, we also sold it for like $6,000 more than we thought we could. So not upset about that at all. Now, like I mentioned, this particular deal came from a county list of people that had code enforcement issues. Now, not every market is going to have this data. Some markets are more locked down than others, but I'm going to show you how we get it in our market. So you're going to want to Google your county name. So in this instance, Marion County, Indiana, Department of Code Enforcement is what you're looking for. So I'm going to walk you through literally what that Google search looks like. So we see here, Department of Business, Neighborhood and Services. You can scroll through all of these different like points and stuff they have. I've already done this, so I know what I'm looking for is the Citizens Access Portal, which is this. I click there and going to click here. Now, one thing to note, right? It's not like real estate investors, here's data on vacant properties or places that need work. You've got to kind of poke around a little bit. A lot of people are afraid to just pick up the phone, call county and say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. Can you walk me through how to find it? What you'll find is the people that work in these departments are actually super passionate about what they do. So back in the day when I was trying to find this information, I literally called county. I was like, I'm looking for this. I don't know if you have it. And they're like, oh, what's your email? We'll flick you the URL literally to this portal, which I've used now for years. So how ours works, and again, yours is going to look totally different in your county. You can go in here by the case type. What I recommend doing is going through these and looking at, okay, like which of these do I think are likely, could be somebody that's got a place they need to sell. So I'm looking for things like unsafe buildings, board orders. You know, I don't really care about adult use. I'm assuming that's like they're selling, you know, NSFW stuff. They shouldn't be out of a house or something. I'm not worried about like horse carriages or zoning approval, right? But I'm looking for things like, okay, vacant board order. That literally means county said, hey, this place is empty. The windows need to be boarded so squatters aren't breaking in and out. So you could pick something like that. You could then pick a date range. Looks like this has just set by default the past week and click search. Now, anytime you get access to a portal like this, my recommendation is to go back like 90 days. And then from there, once you get caught up, you can start to do it weekly. Any of these like county niche lists, it's stuff you want to be quick to hit. So on this particular one, you can see with county here, all they give me is the property address. Now you could copy and paste that address, go over to like the assessor site and look these up one by one. You could go to PropStream, look them up one by one, copy and paste, or you can use Deal Machine to do these for you. So Deal Machine is a driving for dollars tool. It's also our main data provider now at Ballpoint. So really, really easy to do. All you would want to do is compile a list of these addresses. You'd actually just hit the download results button so you're not copying and pasting. You're going to then play with it in Excel. I would do a text to columns here because there's the comma here. So you can separate it out into city, state, and zip. And then you would literally hop over into Deal Machine, click add leads, import a list. And the cool thing is it will give you all of the other information. So all you have currently from a county portal like that is an address. You don't know who owns it. You don't know if they have equity. You don't know their mailing info. You can literally go over into Deal Machine, punch that in, and they'll give you all of this. Who owns it? What's their mailing address? What did they pay for it? Do they have a mortgage, mailing address, all of that? You can then straight through Deal Machine order the Ballpoint pieces, or you can export the list out and send it over to Ballpoint directly if you want. Speaking of Ballpoint, I mentioned we mailed this sucker 4 times. So on this one, they got our template greeting letters. So these, and we simply alternated through a couple different styles. If you've been around for a while, these are kind of our older styles. So we had these square ones, these kind of light blue ones, and the white ones. We've now got a lot more fun options. Personally, I really like this floral one, and I really like the birthday themed one. So all you would do if you have that list is then pick your style, your envelope, whether you want it to go first class or pre-sorted for a discount, add it to cart, you check out, and customer service will reach out and get everything from you. Your list, your logo, your website, your marketing phone number, all of that. We do all of the heavy lifting for you, so you don't have to clunk around on the site and try to figure it out. So kind of in closing on this one, I just wanted to take a quick second to talk about the code enforcement list. Historically, this has not been a great list for me. So if you're watching this and this is the only marketing you're going to do, I wouldn't just do code enforcement. Often these people, like, the places are really rough, like the one you're looking at. They're getting cold called, they're getting texted, they're getting mail, right? They're kind of getting inundated because they have an ugly house that's vacant. They're on a lot of lists and stuff. That being said, we do hit the niche lists like this religiously, and gems like this fall out of it. But I didn't want you to watch this and think, okay, the only thing I should do is code enforcement and run with that, because you might have results like I've had where, like, you don't really get anything, or what you get are places like this that are way, way too rough for you to take down personally if you're a flipper or a buy and hold guy who's not experienced with remodels this large. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully these kinds of like in and outs of what we're doing and how we're doing it is helpful for you. I realize it's not necessarily like step by step. I didn't show you how to process it in Excel or upload it into Deal Machine, but like you can kind of figure out those couple small things. The goal with these is to really not leave anything to the imagination, like start to finish, you know how we did this deal and what we made on it. Good luck. Happy house hunting. Talk to you guys next time.